Boone Trace. That little road. How could that little road, which was only a bridle path, originating from current-day Kingsport, Tennessee, and coming up through the Cumberland Gap, have meant so much to the origin of our country 250 years ago? Some say no other road is of greater historical significance to the founding of Kentucky and the opening of the West than Boone Trace. It was marked by Daniel Boone and his party of roadcutters in 1775, and was the first road ever into the land that was to become Kentucky, specifically to bring in settlers. This became known as the Westward Movement, when people stopped being British citizens and became Americans. America was born. The American dream, which exists to this day, to dream a dream, seek it out, achieve it, and triumph, was born, at least in part, to that little road 250 years ago, along with the Declaration of Independence. It is a spiritual trail of which actual remnants remain, especially at the Saddle of the Gap at Cumberland Gap National Historic Park. All right, folks, we're now in a segment of Boone Trace known as the Saddle of the Gap. We're right here in the low point of Cumberland Gap. Right along this trail right here, literally hundreds of thousands of our pioneer ancestors passed right through here. Imagine their fears and their anxieties and their worries about settling in a new land. They brought literally everything they had with them here to settle. The thing about this particular spot along Boone Trace is a lot of people that visit here say that it's a very spiritual spot. If you just sit and listen and be real quiet, you can almost see their faces. You can almost hear their voices. You can hear the clink of the metal. And they passed right there along Boone Trace. It later was extended as a wagon road in 1796 to the northwest, which became known as the Wilderness Road. But it began as Boone Trace. It reached Louisville, called the Falls of the Ohio, from which Lewis and Clark then explored the Northwest. So, you could say that Boone Trace, that little road, was the fuse that lit the explosion of the Westward Movement that created America from the Atlantic to the Pacific.